It's yeah.
Okay. Just something I want to start out with, just because I'm a tattoo guy, and I noticed the Dylan tattoo.
Oh, you're a tattoo artist?
No. I just
Oh, okay,
love,
okay, yeah,
love
yeah.
tattoos.
Yeah.
I noticed your son's name's Dylan.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
got the tattoo of Dylan.
Yeah, he's on my back.
Yeah. So what's the significance of Dylan to you?
Well, actually, if you had asked me that question in 1986, I would kind of come up with a lame-ass answer, because at that time it hadn't really hit me. Because the whole thing about Dylan to me is that it is my true roots. Growing up in Denmark in the late 60s and discovering music with the heavy influence of folk music going on in Denmark at that time. I mean, we had the big hippie movement, like the anti-war and things like that. It was very, very kind of like on the front line of everything, even in a little country like Denmark. So my mom used to wake us up to like Dylan music or Elvis or Roy Orbison and stuff like that. And my roots in songwriting comes from that background. I hadn't and a lot of Danish artists, I hadn't necessarily paid attention to it, that it had attached itself to myself. But now that I'm out and playing a lot of old White Lion songs mixed with my solo songs, the songwriting and the style is from the same person, and there really ain't a lot of different in it. Once you hear the electrical versions, then it puts it in that specific decade. But once you strip that away and you just leave it just to me, you'll hear that it could instantly or be out of the 60s or the 80s or the 90s or the 2000s. And that is why I understand that, without me knowing it, Dylan had such a great influence on me. I mean, the first song my music teacher ever taught me was Knocking on Heaven's Door, and I never paid attention to it, but later on I realized he had done that, and somehow he had maybe planted a seed and saying that this is the true form of songwriting in its purity, because it was so stripped down and it was so honestly, when later on I got influenced by Van Halen, stuff like that, it wasn't from the songwriting, it was from the machine, it was from the visual, it was from the extravaganza, everything that surrounded that chaos. And once White Line was over, and I, in '96, I stood there and I said, now is the time for my first solo album. It was apparently, who I was. Once I just wrote songs for me and didn't think about it, where it was going to end up and if it would fit in between those songs or in that band or whatever. It was just me.
Okay. And you're most widely known. People hear the name Mike Tramp. Everybody thinks White Lion, but you were active musically long before White Lion, and probably more so, since '96 when you started all your solo stuff. So can you kind of give us a rundown on where you started up to the present?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just I got into music at an age 15 and a half. In 1976, and I got into a band with three guys that were 10 years older than me, and so you're coming into an environment that's already established around some, professional, educated musicians, and I come straight off the street with no plan of ever becoming a singer, a songwriter, a musician, a rock star, etc., etc., etc. And as day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year went by, I started assuming the role of learning once I sort of had engaged and committed to this. I'm that kind of person that, okay, if this is what I'm doing, I'm going to be the best at it in that way. Because I don't ever feel, when I look back at my DNA and who I am as a person and stuff like that, I don't necessarily fit into this role. If you characterize as, the typical guy in this business, there's so many things that goes against, and when I look at myself. But once I took it serious in a different way and made music and the artistic form of it my goal and everything that I did, then that's what mattered, to me. And then looking back, it was learning steps. I mean, there's no way that I could have predicted anything. There's no way that I knew anything. I could only go day by day and take that experience from each day, from each mistake, from each success, from a wrong haircut to a wrong hair color to a pair of pants that didn't fit. I mean, it sounds silly, but it's everything that you just put and feed into this computer here. And then bit by bit who you are. And I was kind of saying it to myself today, even though it's so late, and I could have said it a couple years ago, that I'm damn proud of myself. That I'm just finishing a 46 show tour, driving this car out there, checking into a hotel every day, going up on stage every day, selling my t-shirts every day, all by myself and stuff like that. And so far now, there has not been, out of 3 consecutive tours across the USA, that's not been one bad show. And there hasn't been one lousy performance, and I've never heard one negative word anybody saying. Could I have done that earlier on? No, of course I couldn't. I'm a late bloomer, and I've just taken all that experience and used that up. But it also had a lot to do with me becoming me. I always were me, but it was finding it, and it was getting to that point where you didn't go in and says, oh, maybe I should try that, where you're just so convinced of who you are that there's no experimentation anymore and things like that. And so the past 2 albums and then the new one that's being released in end of August, I kind of like when I talk to the press is calling this a trilogy, because it's really just the final graduation of personal graduation to myself about the search, the question if that is where I was, if this is who I am and stuff like that. And then with 3 albums and 3 tours worldwide, that has been so set in its own way, and so there just weren't no room for any flexibility. That you've been pure all the way. To me, it's just going, okay, this is fine. I've gotten to the point. I can't go any further than where I am now. I have reached sort of not the end, but I've reached the full potential. Now it's just really a matter of what artistic things that I do, and I call like a new album and whatever when it comes out. But there's no more searching. There's no more experimentation and things like that. I am where I am.
Don't
street. Not lost on the street.
Going back to some of the early days of White Lion, when you had Spitz and D'Angelo with you, so you had a connection to Anthrax, and I'm a big Anthrax fan. So did you guys ever have an opportunity in the early days to share the stage with them?
No, and there's not even a gram or an ounce of Anthrax that's ever entered our room. It just happened that Dave was Danny's brother and stuff like that, you know. But you know, we're two New York bands. And in the early years of the 80s in Brooklyn, New York and stuff like that, where they frequently visited L'Amour Rock Club, which happened to be the home of White Lion because our managers owned the place, and it's where we rehearsed. But it's also somehow what sets White Lion aside from every other band that had long hair, big hair, and you know, tight pants, and were categorized there, is that we were a New York band, and we came from a cold environment, and you know, it added something different to it, and it, you know, and we had a European, you know, frontman singer songwriter that just chose after a short time to not follow the TNA and all that kind of, you know, glam bullshit, and just decided that, you know, he was going to stand by himself and you know, not following just all this nonsense in many ways.
Okay. You know, and I know you've been asked, and it's been
answered.
Yeah,
probably a million times. But you know, not by you.
So I'm not going to come right out and say, hey, is plans for a union. But have any of the guys ever, when you know you've been out on a solo tour, ever said, hey, I'd like to come up and do a couple of songs with you?
No.
Okay. Is that an invitation that would be open to the guys if they wanted to, or?
Oh yeah, but that's a different story. I mean, we're talking about. We're talking about a little bit of a unique situation here, because I mean, it's somehow that it seemed like each individual member of White Lion chose to just, you know, each to his own, and you know, besides that, James and I have been friends and have been, you know, in contact through the years here and there. It took 15 years for Greg D'Angelo, you know, to suddenly appear at a show, and we sat down and we had a drink and we talked. And Vito is like I always express, you know, there's nothing to talk about there, you know. It's just, it gets to that point where it's so goddamn irritating because the man has chosen not to set the record straight, at least from his own side. So I get bombarded with all this stuff, and after I get bombarded with 10 things, you know, I maybe snap back in a bit of a sarcastic way, and I cannot say anything positive about it. And to me, I mean, I said that 10 years ago. I mean, there's never been a wish, and there will never be a reunion. And I don't think the world needs a reunion for White Lion. And I don't think White Lion could go up there and be a better band than we were on the Pride album. So it's important to understand, not to confuse it with all the other desperate bands out there that have to reunite because it's the only thing they can produce, selling themselves under a logo. I tried that for a short time when in the mid 2000s, when I sort of try to stick my feet into a new version of White Lion, and went out there. I did a couple of small tours, and I deeply regret it. And even though we had some fun shows with a new lineup, and even though I do realize that one of the first things that I did was try to change the sound of the band that I was going out under its name, I knew for a fact that there were a reason why I ended White Lion in 1991. And that, it was just me doubting myself, or doubting the business, that my first 3 solo albums were not taking off. And I hadn't really found the magic of kind of molding myself to an ever-changing world and business. And it's not all searching, but it's all this information and all these trial and errors that once I got to 2009 and I started, getting back on track, I have not missed one beat since then.
Just a moment before our love will die. 'Cause I must know the reason why we say goodbye. I said, wait, just a moment and tell me why. 'Cause I can show you loving that you won't deny. But if you go away, I know that I will follow. 'Cause there's a place inside my heart that tells me, hold on, hold on, hold on, oh baby, wait, wait, never had a chance to lie. Wait, wait, for I can show you. Wait, wait, I never wanna be without you. Wait, wait, no, I never had a chance to love you. Now I only wanna say I love you one more time. I said, wait, show your loving like it was before. 'Cause I wanted that feeling, walk out through the door. I said, hey, just a moment and tell once more. 'Cause babe, I just need to hold you like I did before. But if you go away, I know that I will follow. 'Cause there's a place inside my heart that tells me, hold on, hold on, hold on, oh baby, wait, wait, never had a chance to lie. Wait, wait, only I can show you. Wait, wait, I never wanna be without you. Wait, wait, no, I never had a chance to love you. Now I only wanna say I love you one more time. So right now, I'm just gonna stand up here and think about all the money that I wasted. But I'm not gonna ask why I went. I'm just gonna accept that this is now and that was then. So if you go away, I know that I will follow. 'Cause there's a place inside my heart that tells me, hold on, hold on, hold on, oh baby, wait, wait, a chance to love you. Now I only wanna say I love you. Wait, wait, never had a chance to love you. Wait, wait, only our life could shine. Wait, wait, I never wanna be without you. Wait, wait, no, I never had a chance to love you. Now I only wanna say I love you one more time.
Is there one song you've written that says this is Mike Tramp, or has that song not been written yet?
No, those songs have been written, and they've definitely not been written in White Lion. Will be on my solo albums, and there's been almost one song on each solo album that you could take out and say, okay, here's from the 11 solo albums that I've done. You could make a top 10 there, one from each album that characterizes that. If you ask those fans that don't need it to say Mike Tramp from White Lion, but Mike Tramp is Mike Tramp, and most people that come see me will understand that. They don't need the White Lion attached anymore, and when you get to that point where those songs are standing out and you say that song represents me, that is to me probably much more than a platinum album. A platinum album puts some money in your bank, but the artistic, way of seeing yourself like in a musical mirror kind of thing is great, and then repeating it on the following albums by writing songs without trying, because I'm the kind of songwriter, I don't sit down and say I'm going to do this and do this. It just comes, and when you don't have to follow any kind of recipe, it's an extension of yourself. I don't sit down and say I'm going to paint a mountain, and a forest and a little lake and stuff like that. So you already said what you're going to do, and now it's just a matter of saying, okay, is the mountain going to have snow on it? The tree is going to be, green or brown? Is it in the fall and stuff like that? From the first chord I play, it'll take me somewhere, and it has never failed whenever I sit down with the guitar. I don't sit down and practice and stuff like that. Second I take it down a guitar, I do that. And now that I have just completed the third album called Nomad, and that's coming out, and it's a full band album and the completion of that trilogy, even though I can already feel that anytime I sit with the guitar that there's something in, I'm going to just pull back a little. So I give it a break before I start writing something new. And then maybe experiment with a couple of other things that will specifically be maybe a project or an experiment just for the love of the artistic thing, but not a self-expression, which all the Mike Tramp solo albums are. I mean, because in '96, when I decided to do my first solo album, or when I was ready to it, I made a vow. I actually didn't, but I kind of I made a vow, but that the word I, from that day on, would represent myself in every song that I've written. So I'm singing about me, and there's no fiction anymore and anything like that,
I was born behind a wall to keep me in. Don't need no holy book to tell me good from sin. Ain't got a problem with my neighbor and his wife. I took the open road to get me through this life. and safe and loaded by my bed. This is the way I live and I have no regrets and I'm my own business. I'm just telling you this so you know where I stand. Yes, I do. My own business, and I ain't gotta change what I'm doing. Oh, good. I have been here alone. This is not understood. 'Cause when all that we know isn't all we should know, you can follow like sheep or trust in yourself. No God, no religion, nobody to rule over me. I'm free, that's me, and that's the way it's gonna be. Don't trust my government, those who make the law. If they want peace, why do they start another war? And always preaching about what's right or what is wrong. Hell, let the simple man write this protest song. Yes, I'm my own business. I'm just telling you this so you know where I stand. Yes, I do. My own business. And I ain't gotta change what I'm doing. No good. I've been here long. This is not understood. 'Cause when all that we know isn't all we should know, you can follow like sheep or trust in yourself. No God, no religion, nobody to rule over me. I'm free, that's me, and that's the way it's gonna be. Yes, I'm my own business. I'm just telling you this so you know where I stand. Yes, I do. My own business. Yeah, I ain't gotta change what I'm doing. No good. I've been here long. This is not understood. That when all that we know isn't all we should know, you can follow like sheep or trust in yourself. No God, no religion, nobody to rule over me. I'm free, that's me, and that's the way it's gonna be. That's the way it's gonna be. That's the way it's gonna be. That's the way it's gonna be.
So, because Museum came out, was it August last year?
Yeah.
Okay, so did you have most of the material for Nomad already written at that time, or is it?
No,
just
I wrote.
come together?
I actually wrote Nomad after I came back from the tour. It's just one of those things, you know, because when I'm out here now playing every single night almost, and my fingers are hurt and stuff like that, I don't want to see that guitar before I take it out and up on stage. I'm not going to go back and start sitting and playing after I just played for 2.5 hours. It's just, that's suicide. My fingers will kill me. And I wasn't I wasn't planning a new album. And this was in the end of November last year after I finished the whole year of touring. And I just went out to my room that I have on my brother's farm. It's kind of like, you just go through the stable and through the cows and stuff like that, and then suddenly you open a door and you walk into almost like a magical world that doesn't have anything to do with what's outside, and and I go in there. This is where I have everything, my guitars and everything, concert posters, stuff like that, all different artifacts that I picked up along the road. And then I just sat down and I said, I haven't played the electric for a while. I just plugged my guitar in a little amp and stuff. And I think like by the end of a couple hours, I'd written like 4 or 5 songs. Didn't sit down and finish the lyrics at that moment, but I knew just what I'd recorded when I showed up the next couple of nights and started putting them in details. I knew they were there, and I just felt that that break that I'd taken, and because I've been out there performing songs that I've already written from previous albums and stuff like that, including White Line material. Now I kind of, it poured out of me. And at that moment, it's just, okay, I know what I got here. I'm going for a new album, stuff like that. So that's just one of those things when you suddenly feel you're hungry. And it's a great feeling when it pours out of you and you don't have to go in there and force it, So I then made the plans as, okay, I'm already so deep into it and stuff like that. And before I went back to my family in Indonesia to spend time with my wife and kids, and I'd gone into the studio and I recorded the 7 songs to hear what I had and an idea. And then when I was over in Indonesia, I wrote the other 3 songs, because I'm a person, I write, and Vito and I did the same thing in White Line. I write for the album. This is like writing a book. You don't just start writing a whole bunch of chapters, and you kind of follow it, and I don't try to repeat myself in any way and stuff like that. So I wrote and recorded 3 more songs in Indonesia, and when I came back to Denmark and we start preparing for this tour here, I went into the studio with a full band and recorded all 10 songs. And it's a kind of album that has the same band sound on all 10 songs, but the variety of the songs is what makes a difference in the album. But you get that feeling that you're in something now, and it's not going to take you out before it's done. And I am extremely proud of it, and that's when I look back, and then it says, it's a completion of the trilogy, my climbing the ladder and getting to where I wanted to be. And where I wanted to be is where I've always been. It was just a matter, it was just, one more way of convincing myself or expressing that I am just me. And on anything that I do, it shines through of what I am. And no matter where you try to divert to, you come back to who you are, and when you find that, then you just remain yourself.
Okay. So, after 30 plus years in the music business, what
39, yes.
39.
Next year's 40th anniversary.
So, to you personally, what, when you look back over the whole thing, what do you feel your greatest accomplishment's been?
It would definitely be, because for many years, there were the big question sign and stuff like that. Why is, because there's been steps along the way. That's the first step of getting into a band without you ever knowing what really being in a band meant, and then learning from that band. And then there's getting that itch, and then turning that trip into going to New York and following now what people would call a dream. To become something like Van Halen, to become something like Journey and something like that, and so and so. And then there's a discovery of getting to the top and finding out that wasn't the answer, and that's not where you would find you found the happiness. And then there's coming down from that and floating around and seeing, okay, which direction are you now going to head? And then there comes Freak of Nature, rediscovering what it's like and what it's supposed to be in a band and stuff like that. And then, out of there, the solo albums. And so it's step by step by step. But I would still say that my greatest accomplishment is having the faith in myself and finding myself, and then completing these last 3 albums, because in those I see my entire life and everything that I have become.
Thank you for being exactly the kind of audience I wish I played for every night. Thank you so very, very much for coming here. Yes. Thank you very much, guys.